welcome Mimi to the show, to the Dianne You Show.
Thank you very much for having me, and happy birthday to you.
Yes, my birthday. It's my birthday. So tell me, what do you do?
I'm the managing principal of TruFinancial Consultants, and we have a few different people in different areas to serve our clients in different things, majorly help them to reduce the risk and mostly protect their business and families in different ways.
And how do you do that?
It really, of course, depends on different companies, like how they set up and everything, right? But then a lot of times, if we look at small business owners, they take all of their life saving and pour it into the company and just run the business, right? And a lot of us really look at our company like our babies, right? But then your actual family is on the other side, which needs the protection should anything go south on your business. We all would like to see our business go really, really well, but we have to make sure that we are well prepared should anything goes wrong, right?
Absolutely. Now, as an entrepreneur, and myself and yourself, this show is geared more towards entrepreneurs, how we can make them thrive in their businesses as well as personal life. Mm-hmm. What do you do to help business owners?
Well, very first and foremost, people need to manage their cash flow. Once the cash flow is good, whether it's the business side or the personal side, then there's a lot of things that you can get done. And then the next thing is that you have to in place good protection. If anything happens to you or your partner or whoever the key people within your business, you want to make sure your business still can run without you there for at least some time or whatever, so that you can, or the key person who had any issues step away or whatever, the business will still go on while they are recovering, right?
Absolutely.
So that's basically this all kind of protection going, and then we step into like how do you actually make use of the resources correctly and more effective, really. You know, how do you lower your tax due? How do you actually get your resources to put it aside to do something else instead of pouring 100% of your money into your business? You want to route it somewhere else so that you spread your risk.
Absolutely. Is there like a checklist that you go through with them? Was this checklist you recommend to most people to have? Because we tend to forget a lot of things on the list that we need to do.
Well, believe it or not, I don't really have a checklist. Mm-hmm. But then while you're talking about it, maybe I'm going to, make one up. But then at the same time, like my checklist to a specific client, or like how I really put together a checklist per se for anybody, is really when I talk to them.
Yes.
And when I get to know a lot more about their business, about their family, like how they function, what they do day in and day out. What's this focus on their problem? You know, a lot of people, they know what their problem is, but then they just can't seem to get out of their practice. They can't get out of what they were doing all the time. So it's just like a little bit guidance along the way and put in an action plan for them, and hand-holding, a lot of hand-holding there, and to make sure that they're on the correct way, and whatever they would like to go, we guide them together.
And it's amazing that you say that, because I mean, when we look at financial advisors, and we look at the traditional banks, there's a huge difference. Coming from the banking industry myself, it's like black and white. So what makes TruFinancial different from the chartered banks? What extra services do you offer that's very different than the traditional banks?
Well, put it that way. There is no one single financial institution can fulfill all your financial needs.
Absolutely.
Never any one company can do everything. Mm-hmm. And of course, as a financial advisor, working independently, we have access to a lot of different solutions and strategies. And our focus at the same time, when you go to the bank and talk to a banker is the bank's representative.
That's correct.
They work for the bank, not for you.
Right. I totally agree. I totally agree.
So to me, the main difference really is that I work for you, I work with you. The more you gain, the more I gain.
Absolutely.
The more you're happy with me, the more I'm happy, and then you're happy as well, right? And I will work so much more closer with you should you have been always cooperating and following my advice, right? And a lot of times, like, of course, not everybody will follow my advice all the time. But then there is always time that people need to get warmed up, if you should think of that. So what happens is, I always let them do what they're doing. But then really, if whatever you're doing works, you don't have to talk to me. And if I actually present a solution or a strategy you want to follow, at least you give it a chance to see whether it works or not. If it doesn't, then we can always fine-tune things along the way. That's another major thing I think one of my strengths or my clients like me about is that I'm flexible and I listen to what they need. And I try to tune things around to make the plan is going to be able to fit their needs. Give you an example. I have been working with this client for a few years, and we were actually saving for his down payment, and all of a sudden he gets a audit from CRA. Nobody likes that, right? But then we can't afford to ignore it, so he got an audit, and all of a sudden he has over 10 grand tax due. So he was like totally panicking, and he withdrew his RSP, 5 grand right off the bat. And then after that, he called me. I said, well, you shouldn't have done that. And he said, well, I don't know. It was okay. Well, let's come in and we'll, figure something out.
Yes.
So we strategized some things here and there. We put back his RSP so that he doesn't get hit with the tax again. And then we have already, in place a little things here and there that he is already saving, right? So we route some of his tax receipt account stuff into paying the tax people. I advise him to use little tricks to like buy. Exactly, because like
It's tax time.
really, they want your money and they will get it anyway. But
Eventually, dead or alive, they'll get it.
exactly, they will get it. So you don't have to be rushing to pay them. As long as you talk to them, then they are not going to like put you like serious. Everybody, one way or the other, they would have this sort of experience eventually. And like I think people need to know whoever you owe to, as long as you talk to them. The key is communication.
That's absolutely.
Like a lot of people, they owe whoever, it doesn't matter whether it's credit card, CRA, or whoever. You stop the communication, that side go panic. You're not the one panicking, actually,
No.
because they are thinking, am I going to get my money? So they go panic, and then they will put you through whatever they should do, they think they should do, right?
Absolutely. One of the things you touched on, which is very close to me, my heart, is people act on emotions, not logic. So talking about your RSP, taken from your RSP, it's not a good thing. It's not a good thing because you get hit with taxes.
Yeah.
And absolutely, it's one of these things that people really don't understand. And how you do one thing is how you do everything. So the more you panic, or the more you act in emotion, logically, that's the more trouble you get into.
Exactly, yeah, because when you react, you're not really thinking through.
No.
You never think through when you react. Reaction is just right there, right?
And one of the things I always talk about is ask questions, ask questions, ask questions, because there's a lot of loopholes and a lot of things. And I'm not saying to take the back door anywhere, in any way, shape, or form, but definitely ask questions and go to the right people.
Yeah, exactly.
If you can possibly, you talk about strategies, maybe give us 1 or 2 strategies that you talk about, or the things that people can do as an entrepreneur as well, and how we can that can help us take our business to the next level, even for those young entrepreneurs that's coming up.
I think that's actually sort of complex because there are so many different
Just give us 1 or 2 little
ways.
simple things as a new budding. We have a few young entrepreneurs here as well. As they're starting off, not like us who have made mistakes, and there's no mistakes, but there's only lessons to learn. A few little things you can tell them to get themselves prepared from now.
I guess if you're young, make sure you get your insurance in place because it's cheap.
That's true. My daughter has an insurance, but she's
Yeah.
not cheap.
Yeah.
Know what? I'm paying for it now after I made a huge
Well, that's
mistake, so-
fine because like she
Yes.
can always repay you down the road. But then
No,
that
she's paying for herself. She's paying for herself.
exactly right. And the key really is that we have to understand that we never go younger. We will only grow older. And some people don't get it. Like, I can just wait later. Yes, of course, you can always wait later, but you're not going back to 22. I'm sorry.
I'm sorry. It's my birthday and I'm back at 22. The age is just a number. Thank you very much.
But yeah, to a lot of us, age is only a number.
It is only
But
a
to
number.
insurance company, age is one of the major thing that they look at when they insure you or not, right? And I'm sorry to say that, but our health only deteriorate as well. You know, we will only get older and our health is going away from us. So the younger you get your insurance, the better it is. As well, your family is so much younger, right? Your mom would be so much younger when you were 18 compared to us now. Our moms are so much older, right? So they have their problems too.
Yes, absolutely.
When you get your insurance, they are going to be asking what's your family history as well.
That's correct.
So less family history on your back is so much easier as well.
Absolutely.
It's actually my own experience. I had a critical illness coverage when I was, I think I was 22 at the time. Everything was fine, so I was okay. And then something happened, my dad passed away. 2 years later, I get another coverage, critical illness, and they asked, like, what happened to your dad? Because they asked family history. And we didn't even know exactly what happened to my dad. He just passed away, poof, just like that. So, because nobody know what happened, they just say heart attack. But no, it's not really heart attack. He was like totally fine. And nobody was around him, actually. So nobody knew what happened. So I had to put heart attack because that's what on record. So I got rated 25% because of family history, something that I can never change.
No, you
So,
can't.
yeah, exactly.
And I know my family's diabetic. My parents passed away. I know most of my family's diabetic too as well. We'll be chatting a little bit more, but they didn't show about diabetes as well. But I have to tell you a story about my dad. In 1972, he had an insurance policy. And maybe a couple of days before the insurance policy actually expired, he got in a really terrible car accident in Tobago.
Ooh.
He came through the windscreen.
Ooh.
And I think it was within a week of that. And that, what he did actually actually put to change his life after that. So he took the money and he helped build a church. But that's besides the point.
Right.
But the point is, you never know
Yes.
what could have happened. It was just less than a week.
Yeah.
Less than a week when that happened. So we can I do understand where, you know, insurance policy. If you have the right insurance policy, that is as well.
Yes.
You've got to know the difference between term and whole life and so forth.
Yes, and that actually basically is a lot to do with your budget, right?
That's
like a lot of different coverage, they structure in the different ways to fit into people's budget. And that's why like I look at the budgeting so that I make sure whatever we in place, you're going to be able to afford it.
Absolutely. So how do we get in contact with Mimi?
You can go to my website, which is www.TruFinancial.ca, TRU Financial, no E, .ca, and I have a blog there, and you know, I actually have an entrepreneur series If people actually want to take a leap from working for somebody and going to run their own business, I have a whole thing checklist to basically prep you, like when do you want to actually take that leap.
Absolutely. And there is a consultation. You have like a complimentary consultation, because I always believe in second opinions or even third opinions don't hurt.
Yes,
well.
yes. Yeah, just contact us. We will come chat with you and see whether we can in place some good strategies for you in different things. You know, get out of debt, credit repairing, everything to do with finances.
Thank you. Well, Mimi, thank you so much for coming into the show, and I'm sure we'll see you back at some point in time. And please go check out Mimi. She has so much to offer. Correct?
I hope that my clients are looking at that way.
But I do want to wish you all the best with your clients as well. And
Thank you.
Financial, and thank you so much. We'll be right back.
The main strength of TruFinancial is that we listen to our clients. It's all based on what your needs are, where you're going, and how do you want to do your thing. We look at how you manage your resources, how you use your cash flow, and then we tailored a specific strategy to help you make it more effective, to make use your cash better in a way that is going to help you achieve your financial goals as well as protecting your family.
Hi, my name is